You feel things more than other people, not as a figure of speech, literally. Conversations land harder. Environments affect you faster. Things that others shake off in minutes stay with you for hours. And you have spent a significant portion of your life managing this, toning it, don't rationalizing it, wondering why the same world that seems easy for everyone else costs you so much more to move through. This video is not going to tell you how to fix that. It's going to tell you why it exists. If you just exhaled reading that, hit like. It means this found someone who has been carrying this for a long time. Here's the question that has never been answered to your satisfaction. Why does it cost you so much more? Why do you walk into a room and immediately absorb its emotional atmosphere while others seem to enter the same room without registering anything beyond the surface? Why does a conversation with a difficult person leave you drained for the rest of the day when others seem unaffected by the same interaction? Why does beauty, a piece of music, a line in a book, the quality of light at a particular hour, move you in a way that feels almost unbearable, while the people next to you experience it as pleasant background and nothing more? The answer that most people arrive at, because something is wrong with them, is not the answer. It is the question being asked from the wrong framework. The framework assumes that there is a correct way to register the world, that the majority represents the calibration, and that deviation from that calibration is malfunction. But calibration is not the same as design. And you are not calibrated for the same depth as the people around you. Think of the creatures that live in the deep ocean. Not the ones that swim at the surface where the light reaches and the pressure is manageable, the ones that live at the extreme depths where the pressure would collapse anything built for the surface, where no light penetrates at all, where the conditions are hostile to every organism that evolves for ordinary water. These creatures do not survive despite the depth. They are built for it. Their biology is structured around the very conditions that would destroy surface-dwelling animals. The depth is not their obstacle. The depth is their habitat. The pressure is not crushing them. The pressure is the environment their design requires. You are a deep-watered organism living in a world primarily populated by creatures that evolve for the surface. The conditions that feel normal to them, the shallowness of most conversation, the ease with which others process and discard experience, the smooth social functioning that requires very little interior calibration. These conditions are not your natural habitat. You are adapted for something that most of the people around you will never need to access. And moving through a surface world when you are built for depth is genuinely physically exhausting. Not because you are weak, because you are spending constant energy operating outside your design parameters. Viktor Frankl wrote, "An abnormal reaction to an abnormal situation is normal behavior." He was writing about the camps, about the psychological responses of people subjected to conditions no human being should face. But the principle extends precisely to this. Your response to a world that is not calibrated for your depth is not abnormal. It is the normal response of an organism operating outside its designed environment. The exhaustion is not pathology. It is accurate feedback, and that is the part no one prepared you for. There are specific ways this shows up. The precise daily experiences that tell you your design specification is different from the majority. None of them are dramatic. All of them are real. The first is being affected by the tone of a conversation long after its content has been forgotten. 2 days later, you cannot remember exactly what was said, but you remember precisely how it felt. The particular quality of the other person's distraction, the slight edge in a phrase that they probably did not intend. The moment when the energy of the exchange shifted almost. You carry the emotional texture of interactions in a way that most people do not. They process and release, you process and retain. Not because you are dwelling, but because your system registered something real that the content alone did not capture. The tone was data. You read it, and data, once read, does not simply disappear. The second is needing more time to recover from experiences that were not supposed to be hard. A social event that most people left energized, or at least neutral. A work meeting that was, by any objective measure, unremarkable. An ordinary Tuesday that contained nothing unusual, and you are exhausted by them in a way that feels disproportionate and slightly embarrassing. The recovery time is real. The exhaustion is real, and it is not weakness. It is the cost of processing at the depth you process it. The surface-dwelling organisms do not need recovery time because they did not go deep. You went deep into the same experience they stayed at the surface of, and the ascent takes energy they never spent. The third is absorbing the emotional atmosphere of a room the moment you enter it, before anyone has spoken. before any interaction has begun. You walk through the door and something in you already knows whether the energy is off, whether someone is upset and performing composure, whether the group is aligned or fractured beneath the social surface. You have been told this is anxiety. It is not anxiety. It is a form of perception that operates below the threshold of conscious analysis, a real-time reading of emotional data that most people's systems simply do not run. The accuracy of it, when you look back, is not coincidental. You are reading something genuine. The exhaustion of running that perception constantly in every environment without being able to turn it off is part of the cost. The fourth, and this one matters, is that beauty hits you with a force that feels disproportionate and sometimes slightly embarrassing to admit. A piece of music stops you in a way that makes you wonder if everyone else in the room is experiencing the same thing, and then you look around and they are not. A sentence in a book lands with a weight that requires you to put it down for a moment. The quality of light at a particular hour produces something close to grief. This is not sentimentality. This is the same depth of processing that makes everything else harder turn toward beauty. The same instrument that records pain at this resolution also records wonder at this resolution. You cannot selectively dim it. But here is what no one tells you about what comes next. There is something that the depth makes possible that cannot be accessed any other way. Not as compensation, not as a trade-off designed to make the cost feel worth it, but as a genuine, irreducible consequence of being built the way you are built. The same design specification that makes the ordinary world exhorting also makes certain things available to you that most people will never touch. The depth of your feeling is not separable from the depth of your understanding. The same instrument that records emotional data at this resolution, that registers the tone beneath the content, that absorbs the atmosphere before the words arrive, that carries the texture of an experience long after others have released it. That instrument is also what gives you access to the interior life of the things you attend to. When you read, you are inside the writing in a way the casual reader is not. When you listen, you are hearing something beneath the sound. When you are with someone in their pain, you are actually in it with them, not performing empathy, but genuinely present at a depth of contact that most people cannot reach even when they are trying. Viktor Frankl did not survive the camps because he was less sensitive than others. He survived because he was more so, because his capacity to find meaning, to locate the specific, irreplaceable thread of significance, even in conditions that were designed to extinguish it, was proportional to the depth at which he processed his experience. The sensitivity was not, despite his survival, it was the instrument of it. Here is something to do right now. Think of one moment in your life, one conversation, one experience, one piece of music or writing or encounter with something beautiful that hit you at a depth you have never been able to fully articulate. Something that changed, something in you that no one around you seemed to notice was being changed. That moment was not an anomaly. That moment was your design working exactly as it was designed to work. The depth you went to in that moment is the depth you are always available to. It is not special access. It is your normal operating depth, and very few people have it. The exhaustion is real, the cost is real, and so is this, you have access to a level of experience that most people will spend their entire lives living above. This is when everything begins to shift. You came into this video exhausted by the gap between how you experience the world and how everyone around you seems to, exhausted by the effort of moving through a surface calibrated for beings who don't go as deep, exhausted by years of wondering whether the difference was a deficit, whether the sensitivity, the depth, the tendency to be more affected than the situation seemed to warrant was something to be corrected or contained. It is not a deficit, it is a specification, and specifications are not evaluated against each other. They are evaluated against the function they are designed to serve. A deep-sea organism evaluated against the standards of a surfaced animal will always appear to be malfunctioning. It cannot handle the light. It cannot move at surface speed. The pressure that keeps it functional would crush the other evaluated against a surface standard. It fails completely evaluated against the depths it was designed for. It is exactly right. You are exactly right for the depths you were built for. The world that you find exhausting is genuinely not your native environment. The calibration that everyone else seems to share was never the calibration you came with. And the exhaustion is not evidence that something went wrong in the construction. It is evidence that you have been spending extraordinary energy operating outside your design parameters, in surface conditions, at surface speeds. By surface standards, when your actual habitat is somewhere most people never go. The sensitivity does not go away. It should not go away. It is not a phase or a symptom or a stage to be moved through. It is the instrument through which you access the specific depths of experience that your life is designed to reach. And the people in your life who are worth being around, the ones whose company does not cost you the way the others cost you, are the ones who either share your depth or who recognize it and treat it accordingly. Not as a burden. As a design, you are not supposed to feel like everyone else. Not because something went wrong, because you were built for something they were not built for. And the exhaustion you have been carrying as evidence of your brokenness was always only the cost of operating in the wrong habitat. You are not broken. You are deep, and the depth is your home. It is finally named what you have been carrying without a word for it. Write in the comments, I'm deep water. Let's see how many of us have been living above our actual depth.